This is Kaypacha with the weekly Pele report. And the first thing I want to do is thank Mona for this delicious footage and her music. I am blessed and honored to be working with Mona to co-create the Astrologie Rising, co-creating the future astrology convention in Costa Rica. You might want to mark your calendars for next May 6 to 13. Details will be coming, but Mona is coming all the way over here from Europe, and she will be speaking and playing her music and singing and sharing her astrology and her beautiful self with us. And she generously is. I'll put some, if you want to get more of this beautiful, amazing stuff, I'll put a link to her YouTube site. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this underwater, we may all be feeling a little underwater these days. That's what got me. And especially the crocodile, man, where, you know, it's the surface. We may be seeing just a little bit on the surface of things, but underneath, there's a whole lot more. This is April 27th of 2016. We've got, the moon is currently now in Capricorn. And on Friday, it's going to move into Aquarius. And we're going to have a third quarter square moon, sun moving through Taurus. 10 degrees Aquarius to Taurus. That's a hard square aspect, Taurus to Aquarius. Yes, they're both fixed signs, but they are like so super different. It's pretty amazing, yeah. On Sunday, then, the moon moves into Pisces. And, you know, it's going to be connecting up there with Neptune, the south node of the moon, her own south node, and Chiron, before she moves into Aries on Tuesday. So, as that moon is moving around, what else is going on? Well, Venus has been in Aries, you know, for a while now, and she is moving on Friday into the sign of Taurus. So we've got this third quarter square at the same time, day, as Venus changing signs. There's going to be a change in the energy. We're going to feel this change in the energy. She's moving from Aries fire to Taurus earth. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And, of course, I'm sure many of you probably already know, Mercury is going retrograde. Second time this year, oh my God. You know, it's happening at 23 degrees, okay, and it's going to go back to 14 degrees by May 23rd. So we've got this period now of retrograde Mercury, retrograde Mars. I mean, it's we got retrogrades all over the frickin' place. I'm going to talk a little bit about that, you know, when I'm looking at the camera. And above it all and beyond it all, what I really enjoy and like to see here is this beautiful trine going on between the Sun is trine Jupiter. Yeah. Really, really sweet. That's going on like this whole week into the weekend. And probably above and beyond all, this T-square between Jupiter opposite Neptune, both of them squaring Saturn. You can see it in the chart at the beginning of the report. I'm going to be talking about this extensively now because it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter, like a vice or like a room where the two walls are closing in upon us. This T-square is getting tighter and tighter until May 26th. It's at its tightest. So it's almost like a whole nother frickin' month, baby. Oh my God. It's intense, yeah? So let's talk about that with me. Aloha. Well, these are days when it's very necessary to take lots of deep breaths. And like I said in my mantra last week, I think it was like, stay in your center, you know, where there's a stillness, because it can be rather like a hurricane out there. Whoa, Nelly.
Things are happening, things are going on. There's a busyness, and I just want to talk about this Jupiter in Virgo. First of all, 2016, I mean, I said it last year, this is the year of purification. And purification means discriminating, discerning, weeding out, flushing out, okay? Cleansing out the impurities. And these are false beliefs. These are lies. These are, clarifying, like ghee, clarified butter. You gotta cook it a little bit, let that solid shit fall down to the bottom. Well, we're all getting boiled right now, man. Yeah, so the temperature is up. And what is this all about? I mean, it's tough. I don't know where I should start, with the Jupiter or the Neptune. Let's look at the Neptune, because a lot of you may be feeling low, down, physically, no energy, no drive. Where's that get up and go? Well, it's not happening for a little while. Saturn squaring that Neptune, Neptune moving through Pisces, and the Sun moving through Taurus, fixed, Earth that wants to sit. Okay, and now Venus is going to join Taurus, that wants to feel, sit, be still. Now Mercury's going retrograde, rethink, reflect, redo. Well, that's Mars retrograde, is redo, react. So there's all this kind of, and so what does this do? It's like, we're getting kind of spiritualized, we're getting dissolved, our old egos, our old beliefs, our old, aims and goals, and sometimes our businesses or relationships or whatever are just like not holding the same sparkle. Life may be losing a little bit of its shimmering shininess these days, as we kind of like, settle down and settle down and settle down deep into the morass of our inner world. So this is very chaotic. It's very confusing. And a lot of it is about, what's the point? Why bother? What what difference does it make? What does it mean? There's a lot of questioning going on with Saturn squaring from Sagittarius and Mars going retrograde through Sagittarius. So there can just be this number one, it's like, okay, we're all getting kind of lulled into this, desire to escape, deny, or avoid the conflicts and all the, the pressure. Jupiter, North Node in Virgo, is putting us under a lot of pressure, and we can have health crisis. We can have work crisis. We can have overload, in the work realm, on the physical, emotional, mental realm, where it's like, there's just a lot going on. And it's just like, all I'm going to say is, there's no accidents, man. Astrology tells us this is purposefully designed by a divine higher intelligence that wants us all, boom, to do our homework. Our homework is Saturn and Sagittarius. And that is discovering what is true for us. We've got a lot of different voices in our heads. We've got a lot of different voices in the media. We've got a lot of different voices, coming in all of our relationships. Look at Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton. This is a great year for this, debate. What's most important? What new laws do we want? What laws do we want to keep? What laws do we want to change? Do we want to exclude, or do we want to include? So it's like it's helping all of us. I mean, we all are in our relationships, okay, on Facebook, in the media. It's like everything is coming at us. It's like, believe this, or buy this, or this is important, or this is valuable, or this is success, or this is, you need this, to protect yourself, or to it's like trying to sell you this, that, and the other thing. I mean, it's just like Sagittarius is the evangelist. It's like, believe this. You know, convert. I want to convert you over to my side of the political or the religious or the, my point of view, my opinion. It's like, yeah. So it's like we want to be right, and this can lead to righteousness. And so we can get into, battles and arguments and debates about, what's right and what's wrong, and was that the correct action? Is that appropriate? Is that correct behavior? This is all about discerning and deciphering, what is moral, what is ethical. And we have a lot of different, ideas. And this is like we're breaking out of an old paradigm where it's like this is heaven and this is hell and this is good and this is bad. And we're moving into Aquarius, which is like, whoa, they do it way different in Tibet than they do in Australia, than they do in South America, than they do in Costa Rica, than they do in Alaska. I mean, it's just like we've got different cultures, we've got different beliefs, that, the web is like interacting, and we're just like opening. Sometimes better, sometimes worse. Some people would like to build huge walls around their borders and stop the immigration. Sagittarius is immigration. It's like, changing countries, changing beliefs. The foreign element is really strong. And this isn't just like political and physical. Let's look at the transgender movement, okay? So many people now, gay marriages, are being legalized in different places, okay? This whole sexual revolution towards, polyamory and the change in relationships and the change in my own personal genders, yeah? I mean, it's just like, whoa, I'm going to get really physical about this and switch around. It's like, it's our identities. Who are we? Who am I? And what is the meaning of my life? Do I matter? Does my life matter? Am I going to ever make a difference? It's like, this is such a huge world. This is such a huge planet. There's like so much. Sometimes I can feel so invisible, non-existent, powerless. And wait till Mars retrogrades back into Scorpio, and then Lilith is going to go into Scorpio. We're all going to be feeling more powerless. and so, but what it's all doing, yes, it is confusing, and yes, it can be overwhelming, and it's like I want to maybe just lose myself in my work and avoid the difficult conversation, with my partner or my spouse about, feelings or deeper desires or needs or da-da-da-da, or I want to lose myself, in drugs, alcohol, different addictions or whatever, and just, take myself out, of the ring, because life is a little bit like a boxing match. So it makes us all kind of irritable, because it's like we're all sensitive and we're not feeling like our best, and but like the train has left the station. This is what I want to say, and this is Taurus. And we're getting into the middle of Taurus. And the Mercury is coming back to the middle of Taurus. And this middle of Taurus, okay, the middle degrees of Taurus and Scorpio is very sensitive degrees. Because if we look at what began, okay, at the equinox, okay, it was about 6 weeks ago. We've got that impulse. The sun moving through Aries, Venus through Aries, Mercury was in Aries for a little. We had all this Aries. I talked about Eris and Aries, Uranus and Aries. I mean, we had this, this charge. So the train left the station. And then when it comes around to the middle of Taurus is the 45 degree. It's a semi-square aspect in astrology, yeah? And this semi-square aspect is where, that original fiery impulse and desire is now kind of like burned out, like the boat left the harbor, the train left the station, and now it's like, oh my God, we're out on the sea, or we're like, the land is nowhere in sight. Do I have the will to keep going? Did I make the right choice? Should I really have left the harbor? Am I really ready, for this trip, for this journey, for this, yeah? So there's this doubt that can settle in, and it can lead to, depression, reflection, inward contemplation that, is just like, oh, and I want to encourage you to honor that, to take it easy on yourself, to give yourself time and space, and don't fear, this reflection or closing off, spending some time alone. Taurus is the hermit. Taurus is the answer lies within my body. Venus coming in here into Taurus, it's like it's inside, and I need to look at myself and my values and how valuable I am and what I feel I need, and close off a lot, some of these voices, okay, that are out there, but use them as mirrors to reflect, this is interesting. There's a point of view, there's a point of view. And I just want to encourage you to go beneath the surface. Like that alligator crocodile, it's like you see the little nose and you see the little eyes. Oh, that's the surface. The surface of things, and just like what people say, he's a jerk. Okay, so yeah, so we can say this, and it could be true, could be false, could be temporary, could be permanent, could be what. It's like, but look beneath. Why did the person say that? What is the intention? What's beneath the surface? What is the what is the goal? What is the ambition? What is the the desire in all of our thoughts, actions, words, relationships? We're motivated to get out of bed in the morning, okay, and to do this, that, or the other thing by unconscious, very many unconscious needs, forces, and instincts. And this is what life is bringing us to the brink. It's wearing us down, so that our strategies and our defenses and our knowledge don't manage the situation. We have to feel, we have to go in, we have to go under, and we have to go behind, and we have to go through the veil. We have to and to really understand and to find a bigger meaning, a bigger purpose, a larger intention. I mean, I like to use the intention of healing, yes, and bringing in wholeness. And this new paradigm is about tolerance for diversity. Aquarius is unity in diversity. So yeah, we're surrounded with diversity, and it's easy to get into judgment. But it's not really going to help. I mean, yeah, we have to judge for ourselves, but you know what? It's like, going deeper, behind, what are we judging based upon? What are we basing our judgments upon? And so it's an opportunity. We want to see this as an opportunity to know ourselves deeper, to find a deeper, stronger goal, aspiration, lifelong ambition, reason to be here, deepen our relationships, our intimacy. Again, our intimacy can reveal and show us deeper layers and layers and layers, and get out from the surface and the looks and the, the sex or the, appearances or the the money or whatever, and get down, beneath that. So it's uncomfortable. It's having the difficult conversations. It's being uncomfortable. And we're uncomfortable when we expand and overexpand too much, or we swallow too much or take in too much, or we don't change enough. Then we get squeezed and pushed and, challenged. So it's like, it's that we're in a place of discomfort. But that discomfort, okay, just like I was talking about Eris, the discord, right? the demon of discord, is bringing, bringing up and stirring the pot so that we can really see ourselves more wholly, fully, and completely. And this is, opening us to new realms of life, to new levels of understanding, to new levels of compassion, to higher vibrations of, aha moments. So that leads me to the mantra for today, and it is: the search for deeper meaning now occupies my soul. It calls me to dwell in the subtle realms, that the mysteries of life I may know. There's a lot more going on than what meets the eye. There are feelings, needs, and desires behind the words, behind the eyes, behind the appearance. And we're all being called to expand our knowledge base, our wisdom, our understanding, so that we can be more powerful co-creators of a new freaking reality. Yeah? The wisdom keepers. So if we want to create a new paradigm, we want to do it right. We want to make it the best. And so it's like, yeah, we got to see, we got to feel, yeah, and we got to penetrate to the source. Return to the source that created us and tap into the divine guidance through reflection, meditation, contemplation. And then we can be more tolerant, and we'll be less irritable because we're taking time for ourselves and we're doing our spiritual practice, and we're not getting like overwhelmed and pushed into the corner so that we react. So this is a time where if you're like all stirred up about something, chill yourself out and retract and reflect before reacting and attacking. Because this is a time, man, where we can just like, that hurts, or I didn't like that, or that's a lie, and just like react. Retrograde Mars, react. So, it's like, slow down, baby, you move too fast. Okay, enough of this blah blah blah. Let's see if I can remember it now. Of course, man, because I'm feeling the need myself, The search for deeper meaning now occupies my soul. It calls me to dwell in the subtle realms, that the mysteries of life I may know. May I meet you in the subtle realms. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.